Hi, I'm Kelly Isara. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. And today's question is, will he ever come back? Or she. Will he or she ever come back? So we have on the left a little diamante heart, gold heart in the middle, and on the end we've got like a little key. So pile 1, pile 2 in the middle, pile 3 on the end with the key. Alright, so take a moment, focus, pick your pile, and we will start. Alright, so okay. Meditation, handsome bachelor, end the story. This is the rising masculine deck. Cupid brings news. Heart confessions, I see my future with you. Alright, so will he or she ever come back? So, alright, I would say the short answer is going to be yes, but I think this is going to be something that's going to take a bit more time, simply because the handsome bachelor from the romantic teacup wisdom deck is actually like the rebel, like the the rogue guy that you just can't kind of tame or get that commitment from. There is another card in the deck called the gentleman, and that's the committed type of male. So the fact that the handsome bachelor has shown up, to me, just feels like the person that you're asking about is possibly struggling with issues of commitment, or they've gone wandering, wandering as in you guys were together for a period, but now they want to do their own thing, they want to be on their own. So again, as I said, handsome bachelor is about like the rebel, the traveler, the does his own thing. He kind of lives by his own rules, that very charismatic type of guy. And end the story is from the rising masculine deck, and so these are messages from the inner self of the man. End the story is about the man finding a way to move on from the story of who they are and who they've been. So it's like he needs to find a way to end the story of his own life and situation and write a new story, right? So it's almost like there's a message here of, I think he will come back, but I think he needs time to reflect with the meditation card. And I think he's trying to find a way to end the story of who he thinks he is and who he thinks he should be. Maybe he's transitioning about how he understands himself, how he feels he needs to be. Does he want to be a guy that's always on the move, that's non-committal? How does he feel about that? Can he heal that story within him about being non-committal? So even though that might be who he is, he might be struggling with how to complete that, how to be comfortable in commitment, for example. So I think there's going to be a few layers to those of you that have picked this pile, that I think this person will come back to you. My feeling is, as I said, without me being repetitive, I think there's going to be a little bit more of this guy taking his time on his own, being on his own, before he's ready to return with a clear space. But I think while he's away, it's almost like it's beneficial because he is figuring out what it is he does want, but it's more about himself, because there's no point him returning and he knows that he can't provide to be the man he knows he needs to be for you, if that makes sense. So I think this is going to be a long sort of period. I don't know, maybe a couple of months. 6 months maybe. I don't want to put a time on it, but I wouldn't see this happening quickly. But the last card, the heart messages card, is I see my future with you. So Cupid brings news is that you may get communication from them, you might hear from them. I don't think the message is going to be about them declaring their love for you, but I think it's going to be you will receive communication from them while they're in their wandering space. And I think that news and that contact is going to give you a little bit of assurance that, you know, he still is thinking of you and is likely to reconnect. So I hope that's given you something to focus on and understand, pile 1. We'll move now on to pile 2. Thank you. Okay, pile 2, which was the gold heart. Synchronicity and signs. Faithfully. Endings make necessary beginnings. Cupid waits hopefully. Okay, and the rising masculine card is warrior. So let's see if I can just move this forward a little bit. It's a bit better. Okay, will he or she ever come back to you? It's as though they know you're waiting. And so because they know you're waiting, I feel like they will. But that heart message card that says endings make necessary beginnings feels like it had to end. Something had to end between you two for this person to return. So if you guys were together and then you split up, it's like you guys had to split up for there to be something new. But it does look like someone is waiting. And there's nothing wrong with waiting, but waiting can sometimes suspend the energy. It can sometimes hold up the energy and sort of delay it, if that makes sense. Whereas if someone just went, okay, it's done, it's finished, it's not happening anymore, then it releases that energy to snap back faster, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's hard not to wait. It's hard not to want something that you want. You got the synchronicity and the signs. I think you are getting messages about whether this person will return to you. As I said, my feeling is that they will, but I am saying it in a very conservative way. I feel like they know you're waiting, and I feel like that could be a double-edged sword. I feel like the fact that they know you're waiting could be them taking longer, taking their time. But at the same time, it does feel like they feel reassured that you're waiting. So this is interesting. And, you know, the rising masculine card, warrior, is, you know, literally about that man finding within himself the part of him that can be the warrior to achieve, to succeed, to conquer. So he's trying to find within himself the part of him that can make this work, can make this happen, and can take charge. So maybe the person is maybe someone who's a little bit more receptive, maybe a little bit more in their female energy, and, you know, this message could be that they're needing to, or they're, you know, needing to or trying to connect to that inner warrior of their masculine self. So I just feel like for you guys, this is going to be a little bit more intuitive. Like, I feel like, you know, again, with pay attention to the signs. I feel like a lot of you already may be getting the signs already. You may likely to continue to wait with faithfully, and Cupid waits hopefully. So there are strong messages here about waiting. So I think that's going to be something for you to maybe decide or reconsider. You don't have to stop waiting, but I guess if you want to speed things up, maybe try and find a way to release that waiting aspect, and just kind of be willing to release it and go, okay, maybe this person's never coming back. And by doing that, you may shift the energy a little faster. He's trying to find out from the warrior card whether, you know, he's got it within him to do this, to take charge, to reach out, to claim what's his, and to make this happen. And I would say that's the process he's sorting through within himself. So, or if it's a female, it's within that female self. So for you guys, I think this is a really positive message. I don't think it's 100%, I was going to say clear, but it just feels like it's not a straight yes and it's not a straight no. It feels like there's a few layers to this situation. But if I was to give you an answer, I'd say yes. If I was to say a time frame, maybe 3 to 6 months. It's not soon, but it's not that long. So, but again, timing is your frequency and your willingness to release, you know, what's holding you back. So I hope this has given you some clarity and some insight, pile 2, and we'll move on to pile 3. Okay. You guys were the key. Such a tiny key. All right. Wishes. Everlasting love. Sorry. Cupid returns. Okay, this is kind of looking pretty clear. We will be together. Oh my gosh. Oh. Rising masculine is grit, sweat, and dirt. This is a pretty clear 1,000,000% yes. Will your person ever come back? Yes. Crystal clear. Wishes. So you've wished for this, you want this. I would say this person wants it too. Everlasting love. That's a really beautiful message. It's literally saying that your love is eternal. It will always be forever ongoing. You've got that card for Cupid. Cupid returns is the message on the Cupid card. And in his hand, he has a letter with a love on it. So I guess if you guys aren't together or, you know, or you're not in contact or communication, I would say you will receive communication about maybe working things out with each other. You know, heart confessions, we will be together. That's really straightforward. The rising masculine card is grit, sweat, and dirt, and that's really exactly what it says. This man, if we're talking about a male, this man is willing to literally put in the physical, the hard work, the effort, that physical, I can't think of the word effort, a physical effort to make this work. He's willing to put in the hard yards to make this connection work, to return, to do what needs to be done to make this happen. And I also feel like, you know, a long path. So maybe, you know, this person's willing to walk the long path to make it happen with you, or they have been away on a long path, and as they return from this long path, they're returning to this kind of sense of, you know, I keep seeing them like return down a pathway. So it feels like they've been away and then they're coming back is what I'm trying to say. So it's like, but by coming back, it feels like they've had this really long path behind them. So I think there's been some kind of literal or symbolic journey for them as well with regards to arriving at what they want with you and what they're going to do about you. You know, timing is difficult. It's a clear yes. So whether it's in 3 months or 6 months or 12 months, I think the message is clear. Well, I don't get it 12 months. The message is clear that it's a yes. So you've put in the wishes, you've put in the energy, the faith, and, you know, this is going to return for you tenfold. So again, quite straightforward. There's nothing too complicated here. It is as what it says. I hope this kind of makes sense for you. It's given you some clarity, and you know, comment below. Let me know how these messages, you know, relate to you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.